What's up, traders? This is the market recap for the month of April. Let's see how we did on the other side. I'm going to have my Friday recap and then, of course, everything overall. So let's check it out. All right, traders, what's going on? Yeah, man, it's your boy Marv, the man, the myth, the professor. Check it out. You like my content, man. You like the way I deliver this. You like the things that I'm doing. It would be really nice. It really would if you would click that subscribe button and then go ahead and smash some notifications so you know when I get a when I post a video, so to speak. Anyhow, so let's talk about it, man. You remember if you've been following me, I got hit on the top of my head on Thursday in UAVS with that halt. And I told you I wasn't worried about nothing. I said it specifically. You can't join the gang and then get mad when people start shooting at you. Just can't do that. Okay? So essentially, I bounced back like I always do. I didn't do nothing different. I didn't stress nothing. I didn't force a play. I didn't any of those things. And I walked out of Friday with 17%. So let's go see how. First and foremost, as we always do, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at the market. Let's see what's going on with the market, okay? So here's the Dow, okay? And the Dow had another red day, and it's still above the 20 MA. So, this is positive. It's positive that it's still above the 20 MA, but it did have a red day. And again, it's the same sideways movement. We know the SPY is going to look very similar. Let's go ahead and jump over to the SPY. It's going to look very similar. Don't expect too much different here. It's just more sell-off as usual. Usually the SPY is always a little bit more than whatever the Dow did. Now, whether that's good or bad, whether it's green or a red day, we see it's still above 20. The problem that we have is there has been a lot more doom and gloom about the market. It just seems every article I read and every little talking head that I see that likes to talk about the stock market, they all basically are just kind of like damning us to damnation, that everything is is falling off, right? But it is what it is. No one can predict this. You just got to let it all play out. That's the bottom line. You just got to let it all play out. And it'll do what it does when it does what it does. I just know I'll be ready. So what did I look at? First and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about overall. Actually, yeah, let's just go with what I looked at first. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's go to my presentation. I'll talk about those numbers in a second. So let's see what happened on May 1st. There was a lot of activity on Friday, and I was very happy about that. It's always nice when the market is moving. Okay, now the first stock that we're going to talk about once this system loads, there you go, it's loaded. Okay, is MDGS. Learning, I'm going to go ahead and switch over real quick. Learning from my mistake of not digging deeper into the news, going further back from Thursday, I went through, it was about 4 stocks that I looked at pre-market. MDGS had the best news. So it was legit news. I looked it up. I did my research. I said, okay, I'm going to really focus on MDGS pre-market, I should say out of the open, because that stock had, to me, the best ability to run, at least with what met my criteria pre-market in my pre-market search. Okay, now let's see what happened. Okay, forgot that. All right, here we go. So here's my game plan. Only stock in this, and I even say it. And remember, I write this pre-market, so that way there's no guessing on what I'm doing. It says the only stock with legitimate news received orders for COVID testing kits. 385 is the first solid buy area, and that can be potentially $4 pending on price at open. We'll follow this one closely. So what I was saying is, depending on where this stock opens, okay, if it opened way up here, I would have took a chance at $4. It didn't. It opened right here. It opened right here, and it came down right to 385, picked me up, okay, and then it ran off. I got out of this at 425, which was just over a 10% win, but this thing ran to $5. Now, you see it like this. This is, if you will go into the 5-minute candle, you'll see that it was fluctuating, and it looked like it just boom and ran. That's not what happened. This thing kept coming back. It came back down to like 406 at least 3 times before it actually gathered the strength to run the 5, and then you can see it quickly sold off. Okay, so essentially that was my first play right off the bat. Within 10 minutes of the market, I'm in MDGS for a 10%, actually roughly 11 to 12% win. Now that was just one play. The next play came with this same, but it came a little later. Okay, MDGS. I have what I like to refer to as the high volume play. This is for stocks that once we open, these are the stocks that are moving. Okay, and so essentially, I go and I find the boom candle. Where's the biggest volume with buying pressure at? And it was this candle here in the low at 424. So usually I wanted to stay above that number for about I really like to say 30 minutes or more, but it just all depends on situation. I am willing to test price whenever it comes back into that area again. Okay, so what I did is I put an order in at 427. Price came down. Let's see if it happened here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, basically a half an hour later. Okay, and it hit 427. Now at this point, you need to understand I only want 5% at this point. I'm not swinging for the fences. You got to remember, I trade penny stocks. Okay, I want you to see my face when I say this. Okay, I trade penny stocks. I understand that most penny stocks are shit. I know this. Okay, so I'm just looking for volatile stocks so I could take advantage of price action in and out. Okay, some can call it scalp. You call it whatever you want. I call it dip buying. I buy at I look at a stock that's moving, and when it drops down, I buy it in a retracement or a dip, and then I want to sell it on its way back up, 5 to 10% into the play. Okay, that's what I do. So this is high volume. It's just like my pre-market play. It's the only difference is it's coming off of the open. It's a little different time scale, and I'm saying, okay, well, what's really moving? I only want to look at stuff. Why would I want to spend time with something that ain't got no movement? None. I ain't got no time for that. Maybe you do, but not me. Okay, so essentially, I bought this here. At this point, I only want 5%, so I got it at 427. Okay, and so basically 21 cents is 5%. What's 21? Basically, it was 20 cents plus 27, 47. I put an order in at 45 because I always come a little shy because I'm okay with that. I just want to get paid, man, and move on with my day. You got to remember, I took 3 trades by 8:30 and was golfing by 9. Okay, that's a hell of a damn day for me. I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, that is a hell of a day. Okay, now, so that was that play. Okay, that was the high volume. So I traded. The whole point is I traded MDGS twice. Okay, now the next play that had potential. I did not play this one because I was dealing with MDGS, but SPI. Okay, here was my game plan. I said stock is moving on fluff news and non-compliance. Can't rush into this one. We'll wait for 131. If it fails off of the open. If it runs off the open, I will look to buy it at I will look to dip buy it at 148ish. So I couldn't be more clear in my deal. So let's look at this off the open. Off the open, it opens up here at about what is that, 165? Wait a minute, that's 170. Now if I don't want to buy this until 148, okay, that's more than a 10% drop. So let's just say at 117, 17 cents is 10%. So minus 10 is 60, minus 7 is 53, and then you still got to come down here to 145. But I always go up 3 cents in the first hour. So really, that's a 12 to 15% drop. Oops, I'm sorry. I want action. Okay, I just was already in MDGS, so I did not trade this one. But look what it did. It came right into it. Boom, hit my number. It ran off to 180. Now, it then came back. Now, the next thing I had the opportunity for this one was a high volume play. Okay, same concept. Where's the boom candle? Right here. What's the low of it? Right here, where my first buy was initially anyway, which made it even stronger. So 145. Look at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. An hour, basically 50 minutes above this price action. The longer the better. Okay, it came in, boom. I only want 5%. What's 5% of 145? 7 cents. All I needed to do is go from 145 to 53. If you look at this candle here, it ended up going essentially just under 150. I think it was 154. So it gave you what it was looking for. Came back and then ran. Okay, so again, the opportunity was there. So, I didn't change anything after what happened the other day. That was an anomaly. That's a rarity. Basically, yesterday's loss, or I should say Thursday's loss, should have been no more than a 10% loser for me, but because it halted, that's something that rarely happens. Okay, in that scenario. So I'm good. I'm okay with what happened because that's an anomaly. It just sucked. That's it, but you still keep the process going, right? Nothing changed. So let's go ahead and look at the next play that I was interested in. Share my screen. Okay, so there was SPI that gave you 2 opportunities, and then my boy ended up trading it down here at 130 later in the day. After you just can't, it doesn't fit into the screen. Matter of fact, I can go up 1 and it will fit into the screen. There it is on the 15. Look, it came down, it tested 131, and it still gave you a 5% play. So even my 131 play was there. I was just done. I was golfing because I wasn't worried about none of this after that. Okay, so here we go. NVIS stock is moving on fluff news. You know how Don, your boy 45, Mr. Trump, he liked to say fake news. I call it in the stock market fluff news because it's not necessarily fake, but they just trying to get you juiced. It's a pump and dump, man. They just trying to get some energy there so they can take advantage of price action real quick. And as soon as things get to running, all the old bag holders, the people who was part of the fluff news, get to sell it, right? You coming in happy as hell buying, they selling. They can't wait to sell to you. That's why I call it fluff. It didn't have no real momentum to it. And you got to be able to discern and recognize the difference between these. So here we go. Stock is moving on fluff news. Has earnings announcement on May 7th. So this may be a setup to bring buyers in before the sell-off next week. So see that? See how you got to be a quick learner? You see, I got popped just the other day on UAVS who did the same thing. We got an announcement coming up next week, and we got X, Y, and Z, and Boo Boo the Fool is rolling with us now, right? They just pumping this thing up, man. I'm not about to buy into you like that. Now that I know how y'all want to play, I'm going to go ahead and see, if anything, if it's popping early, I might mess with you. And if it ain't, then I'm good because I recognize that you got something up. So they got something up their sleeve on the 7th, which today is the 2nd on Saturday. So this is like maybe mid-Wednesday or Thursday. Don't be surprised if they sell off hard on Thursday. Remember I said this. Remember this video was made and it's dated, right? So essentially, let me go ahead and click back on. They got some fluff news. I said I'm gonna wait for 38 because see I could have tried to buy it here. The first buy was 40, but I said this is some bullshit. So I'm gonna just kind of wait because what's the announcement? Let me tell you something. Look at my face when I say this. When you really got something popping, right? Like UAVS the other day, how they played us, right? When you really if you a small company that's in the $1.40, 50 cent range, and you just struck up a deal with McDonald's, Amazon, Walmart, Target, any of them, I'm talking about majors, you ain't gonna hide that. You want people, hey man, look, man, we just struck a deal with McDonald's. You better get your ass in now. Because we about that whole to the moon talk, yeah, that's where we going. That's what the real ones do. They let you know, hey man, it's popping over here. We just struck up a deal with Amazon. See, UAVS was on some bullshit last week, and they was acting like they struck up a deal with an unnamed source. If it's real, you gonna name the source because you know money coming in. See, you don't have to hide that. Why would you hide that? You guys need to start buying more shares and say, look, I just struck a deal with Google. You might want to get in on this before this thing turned into a $50 stock from 45 cents. Okay? That's what the real ones do. And so when I see this now I'm just like, yeah, okay, cuz sound good, but you're gonna have to show me, bro. I'm from Missouri. I'm from the show me state. You're gonna have to show me what you talking about. So I waited to 38.3. I didn't take this one, not because I didn't want to, but because I was already dealing with MDGS. Okay, so like literally when something is popping and moving and it's showing me that it want to move, that's I'm going to that part. So I was already 2 trades in the MDGS at this point, and this would have been a great look at this. Look at this. It came in. This thing ran. This is a great trade. Had I been able to get it, but I was already busy. Okay, so that's the other one I was looking at, right? FET. I'm not even gonna talk about this in the efforts of time. It just didn't do nothing. But again, it's another one. Has an announcement coming on May 12th. Man, this is set up, man. You think you slick, bro? I ain't nobody falling for that shit no more. So AMTX. These are plays that just have volume. AMTX is one that I saw moving, and I just tracked this stuff for my own purposes. So we ain't gonna really worry about these. This is another one. It just was moving, and then of course it started to fade. It came up hard pre-market. It had a good open, and then it just faded. But I caught it off of the MA. I let it stab through to 102, and then got rid of it up here at 108 or something like that. So this was another one of those 5. I think it actually might have been 6% plays. But essentially, that's what I was able to do. And I just want to reiterate, man, I bounced back, man. I could have easily been on some crybaby shit, but you can't, as the old movie says, there's no crying in baseball, man. There's no crying in the stock market. Especially dealing with penny stocks. With dealing with penny stocks, you already know you're dealing with some shit. So you can't, you got to be ready. You got to accept the Pepsi challenge when it comes to something like that, if you follow me. Okay, now I'm gonna just show you all these numbers. I track all of my shit. Why am I so confident in making the plays that I make? Because I track my damn data. Because I backtest my system. Because I backtest everything that I trade, and I document all of it. I got this slideshow done grew to damn near 1,500 slides by now. I document all of that. Then I put that stuff in Excel. I have all of this stuff documented, so I know why I'm confident and why I'm going to make a play and be okay with the result, because I know that the numbers are backed up with real data. So let me just show you this real quick, okay? Overall, so remember, I was already doing trading, but I got into penny stocks, and it's been the best thing ever, okay? So Tim Sykes and them got me into penny stocks. Literally coming up on a year ago in June. Maybe it was July. And then so I started learning from them, and I'm always gonna be my own man. But here's what I started to do. I started tracking what I saw as a lucrative play that fit my scenario. I want to make this point. This is important. When I first started penny stock trading, because I do options, okay, and I got some buy and holds. But when I first started penny stock trading, I had a window between 5:30 a.m. West Coast until 9. Okay, and so some of the plays that those guys were talking about, they didn't necessarily fit my profile nor my timetable. And that's something that Tim talks about that's important about, also knowing how much time you got to make a trade. That's important, right? So I had to start finding out. I had to learn the hard way. I liked Tim's dip buying strategy, and I had to apply it to where I can actually actively do this stuff. And what I began to do is I said, okay, I'm gonna focus on everything that had very high volume pre-market, okay, and I'm gonna use the pre-market chart as my basis, and then as it opens up, I'm gonna play based off of that. Okay, so I developed this concept based off of what I learned with Tim and them. Let me go ahead and share my screen, right, and it kind of made it my own. I did my own thing. Because I've always been a free thinker and my own thinker. There's nothing new about that. Okay, now, overall, since I've been tracking, actually I've been tracking before this, but when I finally figured it out, hit me by the end of February. It was a bunch of ups and downs through the whole month of February, and it finally clicked, okay? Overall, I have not taken all of these trades. I've probably taken about 95% of them, okay? Overall, because sometimes as you noted when I was trying to play MDGS, another stock went off, and when you're in one, I usually don't take 2 trades at the same time. That's just not me. Some people do that though. That's not my bag. Okay, I'm focused on the one I'm in. right? And so sometimes that happens. So you don't get to always take everything. But overall, everything that I looked for, that I had a plan for pre-market, 135 and 37, 78%. Okay, first buy opportunities. That's what you often hear me say. It has a first buy opportunity here and a second buy there. First buy, 80 and 32, 71%. Second buy, 30. I love the second buys is like, that's to me, that's like undefeated. That's like one loss a month. Unbelievable second buys, 92%. These are new, so I'm not hyped off of these numbers yet. These numbers won't mean anything to me until there's about 50 or more trades on each of them. But huge volume is good, and of course the MA play is good. But my core of these two right here, first buy, second, everything started off first buy, second buy. I just want to be clear about that. Now, this is the numbers from April to May. I track the numbers overall, and I track the numbers month for month, week for week. Okay, because I like to go back and just look at data. This is what makes me comfortable in making a play. Okay, we see the month of April. Again, I didn't take every one of these trades. I probably took about 95% of them. This was a very good month for me, even with that crazy big ass loss that I took with UAVS. This was still a good month for me, and that's because you see these numbers. 42 and 14 overall. First attempt. This is the worst first attempt month ever. Usually that number is in 74% or higher. Okay, 63% there. Still winning though. Most people would tell you, yeah, if I told you you would win at 63% on all the trades you took, people would say, sign me up. Trust me. Okay, second attempt, as we always state, those numbers are always marvelous numbers. 13 and 1 and 92%. And again, I'm not hyped over these numbers yet. They ain't got enough data, but I'm still tracking them. Okay, that's the whole point. That's what made me start doing this, because I was tracking. I was tracking from last August all the way through February, and it took me that long for it to finally click. Like, boom, I think I got something here that I can utilize. Okay, now here's the walk away from all of this, because I'm about to wrap this video up. It's important for you, whether you are learning this, whether you got your system in hand, because this is just what I do, man. There's a lot of different ways to play out there, and I'm not knocking none of them. You have to know what works for you and what you are comfortable with. You have to be okay with that. Okay, that's your deal. You got to be okay with that. I know what works for me. I know what I'm going to do. I'm not worried about what nobody else is doing. Okay, I'm not even trying to learn nobody else's system. I do read books. I do read like psychological, the psychological aspect of trading. I read a lot on that, and if there's somebody that I like I like Ross Cameron, to do. I like what he do. I'll read your book. I like seeing self-made men that came up and it's similar to me. You might have learned something from these other people, but you actually honed your own skill. You found what works for you. You have to know that, and then you have to track it. You have to take copious notes and track it, because if you do that, you'll know why you're taking plays, and you'll be comfortable when you take them. I don't have to hesitate when I see an opportunity that I look for, because my data tells me that I got a 75% chance. Well, I'll take them odds all day, every day. 75%? Man, that's life changing. That's life changing. Especially, remember, if you look at the months, the core months I'm talking about, this is when the market supposedly done took a shit, and the whole world is about to end behind this coronavirus. Yet, from the end of February to the end of April, I'm like 135 and 37, whatever the number was. We'll just say 75% winning rate. Sign me up, cuz I'm good. I'm with that. All day I'm with that. So, take notes, man. Understand what you're trying to do that works with your schedule and what you got going on, and make it work to your benefit, man. Make it work to your benefit. It's a lot of ways to eat out here, and the reason why I do what I do, I come from a highly impoverished environment where most of the people that come from where I come from, we ain't even know about this stuff. I found out about this late in life. But could you imagine understanding this and somebody being willing to sit there and mentor and coach and give you some game and actually have classes and reading material for you that can help you learn? If I'd have knew this stuff by 20, 25, Oh man, ain't no telling economically where I be, and I'm good. I don't want nobody. I'm doing this in my shop because they working on my other house. Like I'm good. I want you to understand this. Okay, no silver spoon. We work for it. But my point is, and you probably can hear that noise. They over there sawing up stuff right now. My point is this: if I would have knew this, if I would have had these opportunities earlier, that's why I do these videos. It might catch a few of you. A few of you might learn how to do something, man. And it's game changing. I got two testimonies of family members and friends that have literally said, "Hey, man, I want to learn what you're talking about," and have literally economically switched their whole situation around. It's out there for you. The take is there. You just got to be willing to put in your time, man. You can't take the elevator up on this one. You're going to have to take the stairs. But when you get to the top, man, you're going to dig how the top feel. I guarantee you that. You're going to like knowing that you can actually take care of yourself and your family via the stock market. And that's just to still keep your other job. Like I said, I usually trade from 6:30 to 9:30. 6:30 to 9. And I'm out. I don't even like sticking around after 9. Only stupid stuff happen after 9 for me. So, yeah. All right, y'all. So we bounced back 17% on Friday. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep doing what we do. We ain't changing nothing. Then we ain't scared of nothing. We did our homework. We know what the data state, and we're going to play the data until the data tells me not to play the data anymore. It's that simple. All right, I'm out.